Guys, Father here, and welcome to another edition of Father at Home. Now, number 3.
Disappoint you by my hat, but I am not here to do
Marcus Welby. Marcus Welby was an episode of a show that came on in the 1970s.
But don't worry, I got something much better in mind. I'd like to review like 10 pieces of bad, really good pieces of movies that really don't treat that good as they try to do. Number one is like that movie. I'll Be Home for Christmas. Let's start by saying that, like, I really enjoy this movie, and, like, you could watch the whole review I did about it for it. I don't think you'll regret me watching it, but, I do like it and stuff, like, I don't know, the lesson in the end really isn't that fitting. I mean, it's like, without spoiling too much, I could appreciate somebody learning the right value of the Christmas, but it's like he could have learned the value when he came in there. Why did they have to step into it? Second, The Sitter with Jonah Hill. The Sitter is a 2011 movie that ended up becoming released, and about this guy named Noah who has to babysit who is his crush's kids, and then when he gets called out to go to a party for Christmas, he does this. And he wants to do it, but this involves taking, like, the kids along, right? Well, but what's horrible is, like, when he discovers this one kid is gay, right? Rather than saying, you know what, it doesn't matter, gay is fun, he gives all this shit about high school is gonna suck. But we know when you get in a college, you're gonna get a real job in the music industry and all this stereotypes. It's terrible. Fortunately, Jonah Hill got his comeuppance after that. Family Guy, the episode in which I can't think of the name of was Quagmire's sister getting beat up. Quagmire's sister Kaylee who is beaten up by her boyfriend Jeff, comes with Quagmire and starts blaming herself for it. Quagmire says she doesn't have to take it, and then, well, Quagmire, Joe, Peter, and Cleveland all go out to hunt Jeff down in the wilderness, right? Then when Jeff gets word of it, he ends up trying to kill Quagmire, right? Strangling him to death. Now, but surprisingly, I could say this is actually a pretty good lesson. But, while I think it's a good enough lesson, I don't know, just like the whole message, like, of it being, like, about, like, in a Family Guy episode, it doesn't click. But what's the bad lesson itself? The whole episode revolves around a storyline about violence jokes being funny. By God. Young Life. Okay, for those of you not from Arizona, if you haven't heard of this, Young Life isn't actually a TV show or a movie. It's actually a really good Christian organization but it does do skits that are pretty funny, so it counts it anyway. But, like, what lessons are horrible is how, like, they tell you nothing bad happens to people. What? Oh, okay, so God said forgive, like, everybody who beats people, that's good? Oh, so I should feel better knowing this happens? And what's worse is, like, they don't help you when you really need to. And, like, the thing that really gets me, they tell me all this story about molestation and shit. No one wants to hear this. The Dick Van Dyke Show. I love Dick Van Dyke, but, like, there's, like, some episodes I really just don't even get. I talked about this one on a recent video, but so I'll just keep it quick. The episode reveals that Laura may be too young on her birth certificate. And, like, because of this, the episode ends with them having to have a legal wedding. Now, like, the thing is right before that, Laura already says about how, but, like, we already have a kid. Now, number 3, Marcus Welby. Marcus Welby was an episode of a show that came on in the 1970s, right? Now, I know this was during a time before homosexuality was real well known, right? But, like, God, guess what the episode's about, right? In the episode itself, guys, Father here, and welcome to another edition of Father at Home. Now, number 3, Marcus Welby. Marcus Welby was an episode of a show that came on in the 1970s, right? Now, I know this was during a time before homosexuality was real well known, right? But, like, God, guess what the episode's about, right? In the episode itself, this man's wife and son leave him because he's an alcoholic, depressed, and, like, he isn't the same as he's been in the past. And then they struggle to find out what's going on. Things end up being like revealed that a man's a homosexual. And, like, what advice does Welby give him? Does he say it's okay to be who you are? No, he says fight your urges and have a normal life. What the fuck? I mean, that is a bunch of bullshit, Chardonnay. I mean, like, I can't believe they even aired this thing. By any means, don't watch this episode. Stepfathers. I mean, like, this doesn't relate to a specific movie or show, but this is a cliche I see way too much and I don't get it. Jesus, I mean, like, the stepfather, the woman found love again. Why? Just because it's not your father, that's a bad thing? But no, you always see in every movie that the stepfather, or in many cases, stepfather is no good. Yeah, you always see that. They show it in, like, God, they show it in Lucas. They show it in, Mommy's Got a Date with a Vampire. They show it in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, don't they? Heck, even Boyhood shows it, and they ruin it. God, I don't like this at all. Boyhood's a great movie, and I'm sorry it lost a damn boy. Say, this has got a lot of high praise for being a show that teaches kids about death. I just, in my opinion, don't think it did the best lesson. And the number 1, Sesame Street. Goodbye, Mr. Hooper. Goodbye, now, it's hard when, like, somebody on a TV show dies, as they have to figure out what to do. And a beloved character like Mr. Hooper, they didn't know what to do. Then they decided to write him off and depress kids everywhere. Now, like, most people say this is a good way to teach kids about death. Well, the episode fails to mention anything about heaven, huh? Jeez, the kids lost their relatives. Now you have to let them know they won't see him again? And when Big Boy, even in the episode, asks about why this happens, everyone pauses, and then Gordon's like, just because. Just because? Oh, God, what a bunch of... I mean, now, despite everything, all of these things on the list
Except the Marcus Welby episode. That was just plain wrong. And probably Pat Adams. That I think I am taking to the courts. The rest of them I know had good intentions. I just don't think it turned out that good in the end. That's the same though? Does that mean though that like these are horrible things? Not always. I mean, like Ed Wood, I think, as many people may not know, was somebody who just wanted to make movies that what made people happy. Now, maybe these things didn't succeed in it, but like they were somebody's story. In the end, I guess nobody's perfect. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Arrivederci.